Greetings, YouTube. You just stumbled into a wonderful start. A session of Drinking with Joe. At the end of the week, I like to do a bit of a retrospective to figure out the things I've done and to kind of map out where I should be going next. After all, you can't really figure out where to go if you don't keep track of where you've been. So, I'm off to a pretty good start, I think, with regards to my freelancing activities. I had set out to start generating YouTube content, which I've been doing. Not necessarily entertaining content, but that wasn't one of the goals I had originally laid out for myself. Debatable about whether or not it will ever be completely enjoyable, but and I have also started the groundwork for building my portfolio. Much like my content, not particularly impressive at this point, but starting small and going big is the way to proceed. I don't foresee any problems continuing the work of the portfolio because it's all things that I have done before. But what has kind of slowed me down has been the content generation, specifically the video editing. I've never done that before. I've never done anything related to YouTube content generation before, so that's not entirely surprising. But the video editing process has turned out to be really slow, and so what I did today was benchmarks about the things that I had been trying to do, rudimentary benchmarks. And I think I've kind of narrowed down what exactly was causing my problems. Let me see here. Right. So my basic goal is to make a 30-minute video once a day. And if I just did a single stream in my video editing process, stream being like footage from this DSLR, footage from the webcam, or desktop capture footage. If I did just one of those, it would take me about, what's that, 2 times 5? Only about 10 minutes to export the edited video, which is pretty good. But what I had been doing was exporting a video with 2 streams, and not just 2 streams, but 2 streams with chroma key, a chroma key effect added in to handle this green screen, as well as a picture-in-picture effect. Now, if I just did the picture-in-picture effect, it would take about 20 minutes to do the export of the video. But with the full chroma key, let's see, 5 hours. Suffice to say, it's probably not gonna happen. Unless basically what I did is start the export process, maybe before I go to sleep at night, and then when I wake up in the morning it's all done and I start the upload. But that, for one, means I have to go on a time delay. And 2, it kind of, personally, I perform more consistently when I have to do things immediately on a scheduled basis. And, firing it off at night, waking up in the morning, and then doing it, it doesn't seem so good. Not to mention the fact that if something happens during the night, then I'm out of luck as far as content goes. And my goal is to push something out every day. I couldn't make a snide comment about bowel movements, but if only I was that regular. So going forward, I believe I can get away with the dual streams. My last set of videos had been with just one stream, and I had been using my VirtualBox guest environment to display the webcam. But I prefer the DSLR mostly for the higher quality. My videos aren't exactly going to have the highest polish to begin with, so any little bit helps, and the resolution on the DSLR is really impressive. And actually the webcam I have is pretty good too, as well as, what was it, the Logitech C930, 390, whatever. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not as good as the DSLR. And the only issue with that is that I have to address syncing up the two streams, because it's two different starts for the record. Start the desktop, start the webcam. I think this is why in movie studios, when they're filming things, they have the guy with the what do they call that? Whatever. They have it. I don't. And even if I did, I'd be leaving it up in front of the camp. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's going pretty good, I think. So what I should do then for next week is continue what I've started this week and refine. Well, at least as far as the content generation goes. Now that I've got a pretty good idea about how to generate, edit, and then there's the upload thing too. I neglected to mention that. Well, no, it's about 2.5 hours to upload a 30-minute video. But then again, I'm doing this on a wireless connection, and I could just do a hard line, especially now that I have an external USB hard drive that transfer it to the machine that is on a hard line. So I'm not too concerned about that. But really, it was the video editing that was really hindering me. So, put this out of the way. That means, like I said before, for the next week, I will just continue what I've been doing, but refining as I go. My content is going to be, I believe, the desktop screen capture as well as the DSLR. Although, an issue I have with that, aside from the singing, always issues. And the benefit of the webcam is that it easily captures what I'm focusing on because it's oriented that way. It's more difficult with the DSLR because it's bulkier. Right now I have it on the very cheap tripod that it came with. So it's not a very good mount. I mean, maybe if you didn't mind me looking at this all the time and then I'll occasionally look at that. We could try it, see how it works. I mean, this is all a learning process. If you're not making mistakes, you really don't have an opportunity to learn. No, it just shows that you're not doing anything, really. I mean, you can do something perfectly and learn how to do it if you do it right the first time. And conversely, just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you learn. But if you do make a mistake, that means that you at least tried, and then you have the opportunity to learn from it. So, okay. Continue with the content generation. gonna do dual stream DSLR screen capture. And then as for the content itself, I like how things are going right now. Pretty much, well, I started on Wednesday. I think I started on Wednesday, but I didn't upload correctly. But I have been generating content since Wednesday. I haven't been publishing consistently since Thursday. So Sunday through Thursday should be what I'm terming my freelancer videos. That is, videos that document some portion of my freelancer development activities. And then Friday will be Gaming with Joe, just because I want to take a break. And you could kind of argue that Saturday, which is Drinking with Joe, is also a break. But, as I've said, it helps to think about things. It helps. You must lead a very charmed life if you don't have to think about things, if you just do them and they all work out for you. I don't think I've ever met anybody like that, but I'm sure they're out there. Things just kind of fall into their laps. Oh, good for them. And it's not for me, so, you know, I have to make do with what I have. What's that saying? You gotta play with the hand that you're dealt. And, you know, I've been given a pretty good hand, if I do say so myself. And I'm sure there are lots of people out there that would say it too. It all comes down to perspective, really, when you think about it. For all the things that don't go my way, or that others would not have a problem with, you know, there are probably many, many more people who wish they would be in my shoes. And conversely, there are, I don't know. I'm not going to say that there are many other people I'd want to be in their shoes. I'm pretty happy with who I am. Or with what I can do, I should say. There are things that I don't do or haven't done that I should do. And, you know, that kind of is something I perceive as a negative for myself. But overall, I have a path forward. And even if I didn't see the path forward, I would know that there's a path forward. There's always a path forward. It may not be a very good path. But at the end of the day, no matter what the circumstances, each person himself is the one that makes the decision. That's their path forward. I keep looking away from the camera. I don't think I'll ever... Yeah, they used to have a red light on them that you could focus on. That just seems so odd. Alright, you know, I am rambling. Which I think I do in all of my videos. I'll blame the drink. So, continuing with the content generation. And I have a plan for the things I want to do. I have them written down somewhere else. But effectively, I'm aiming to have a presentable portfolio by the end of the month. So I think by the end of this week, I should have at least one project in my portfolio done and have started a second project. The first project is just basic competency. And the second project is going to be more for full stack development, because that's actually the bulk of my experience. Focusing on specifically the front end is something that's only come to the forefront for me in the past couple of years. And I still end up delving back into the back end every now and then. remarkably easier sometimes to just implement things yourselves. Or if just say you're the front end guy and the API guy, maybe they're on vacation and then there's something in their code that needs to be changed or something that wasn't implemented correctly, it's a lot easier to just fix it yourself. Well, unless you don't want to do the work, and well, yeah. But I'm a professional, consummate professional. Appearances notwithstanding. If I say I'm going to get something done, I get it done. And here I am talking about myself again. Well, I'm the only one here. Right. So by the end of the next week, I should have that first project start the second project, so that's good. So I think by end of next week is what, the middle of. Okay. Yeah. Yes, will be the middle of August. So that second project, that's more complicated. Yeah, so that should be done. I would actually suspect by the beginning of the last week of August. And then I hopefully would have enough to actually start bidding for freelance work. I mean, I could start bidding now, but that's pointless. No portfolio, no clients, just a resume. Yeah, so I'm not going to go with that. And I anticipate this will take a fair amount of time to actually become established. I mean, I've seen anywhere from like 1 to 2 years, and I don't know what level of established they're talking about, whether or not that's just as a part-time thing, as a side gig, or a full-time thing. Not that I've said what my goal is for that just yet, but it doesn't matter, I can't do full-time freelancing just yet anyway, because I actually have a full-time job. So full-time job, and fairly consistent training regimen, actually extremely consistent. And since, well, on the one hand I live by myself, so I only have to take care of myself, but on the other hand, I have to take care of myself. Let's see, how we doing? Okay. What else is there to talk about then? What else should I be thinking about? Well, and the freelancing is the big thing. The job's chugging along fine, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. The training and the diet. I mean, I know I make all of this look very easy, but it's been a long road and it takes effort. And it's taken a lot of effort. And it's not quite done yet. Although I don't have too much further to go, in my opinion. Or at least for what I'm aiming for. And I've been trying to whip myself into shape for so long that I have never even given thought to what it would take to just maintain a certain level. So that will be something that I'm going to have to think about. Yeah, but in that particular case, that's a problem I'd like to have, and until that happens, that I'll kind of wing it at first. I mean, let's say I don't correctly maintain weight. Well, I know what it takes to lose it again, so I just quickly switch gears. Alright, so that's freelancing, work, training. Uh, I had figured, at least when I was playing this through in my mind, that I would not be able to talk for an entire 30 minutes just about freelancing stuff. So I think the other thing I figured I would kind of bookend Drinks with Joe with reviews of some kind, because, you know, I'm always either, unfortunately, buying things or watching things, and so I guess now I am going to talk about what I binged last night after my Gaming with Joe session, and that is, it was the latest episode of Voltron on Netflix, Season 7. I'm a big fan of the series. They've done an excellent job, I think, of rebooting the thing. Not that it was a very high bar to clear, because the Voltron 84 series is it's really bad if you go look at the episodes now. I mean, everything from the stories to the dubbing to the animation. I think it was just cool back then. Gen Xer, so I mean, it was just cool back then. You know, mechanical lions, giant robot, awesome sword. I mean, it was great, but wasn't that good. And so with this reboot, they've done an excellent job. First two seasons especially, magnificent. They kind of got a little sidetracked, I think, with that switch from the longer seasons to the shorter seasons. So it really broke the flow, I think, in the middle there. And okay, well, now I know. And this is why we do these things. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. So apparently my DSLR stops recording videos after 20 minutes. Or I was not enigmatic enough. And I'm holding this here because when I picked it up to press the button again, the leg from the tripod / mount fell off. So awesome. That means I'm going to wrap this up right now, as opposed to my usual 30 minutes of boring you. And I'll have to splice this together. I'm pretty certain I could do that in the video editing software, and then upload it. So, thanks for spending your time with me, and I hope you managed to have a drink too, if it's legal for you, and if it's your thing. If not, then I hope you drink whatever works for you. I will see you later. You know, not specifically exactly see you later, but hopefully you'll see me later. Take care and God bless.